let's across markets. If you're going to be using the trains in the UK, you will likely be paying a totally different fares very soon because the authorities are set to rejig the fares for using trains in London and elsewhere across this big country. And that's part of what Simon Pearce, my colleague at our London studios, is tracking for me this morning. Just in case I touch down there, Simon, good morning. How soon will I be paying a totally different fare on using the rails?
Yeah, morning, Burson. You're going to have to use your helicopter instead of the trains, your personal private jet, because it looks like rail fares are going up. This happens every year, and it's based on the Retail Prices Index. So this is a way to measure inflation for July, and the RPI this year is 2.8%. That means that next year's fares will go up by 2.8%. The figure is likely to lead to an increase of more than £100 in the annual cost of getting to work for many commuters, passenger groups, and frankly, lots of other people here are saying we should change the way ticket prices are calculated, as RPI is no longer really used for anything. They say it's decades out of date and really pretty meaningless. For example, the government's preferred measure of inflation, or marking inflation, is the Consumer Prices Index, which increased 2.1% this year. So lots of people argue that this method should be used. Also, what happens every year when rail prices go up, which happens every year, is that there are calls for the railway to be renationalised. The TUC trade union, for example, have said, we're already paying the highest ticket prices in Europe to travel on overcrowded and understaffed trains. The number one priority should be running a world-class railway service, not subsidising private train companies. The railway should be nationalised. Now, the rail minister, Chris Heaton-Harris, says it's tempting to suggest that rail fares should never rise. However, the truth is that if we stop investing in our railways, then we will never see it improve. Lots of ordinary people getting involved in this debate too. Two tweets for you from commuters on Twitter. One saying, nothing is certain apart from death and taxes and increased rail fares. And another user saying, government aims to smooth over rail fares rises by saying wages are rising too, but wages have not risen 46% since 2009, like rail fares have. So yeah, lots of people getting involved in this, a lot of anger, but this really happens every year, both in rail fares increasing, this time by 2.8%.
Yes, Simon, but again, when will a new rate come into effect? This week, next week, before the end of the year? If I buy some tickets early, will I get some rebates or discounts? How will it work?
Yeah, I think what you mean in terms of the rail prices, I mean, older people definitely get discounts. Younger people under 25s, they get discounts too, but it's the ordinary commuters really that this is hurting. And every year this seems to happen. And like that user said on Twitter, earnings are not going up as much as inflation. And so inflation, and certainly the way that the rail fares are worked out at the moment, the method going by this RPI index, it's not fair. So it's really commuters that this is hurting.
Yeah, I know. 25 years old and young people. I just turned the number around. I'm not sure I'm qualifying for that, or just rebates at all. I long lost 25. I'm counting double. Okay, let's talk about the marketplace, shall we? So how are we starting today's opening calls on the market? President Trump actually blinked a little on the trade fight with the Chinese, and that seemed to be calming the equities market across the board, as we've seen in the last 24 hours or so. Is that also happening in the City of London?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the FTSE 100 opened marginally lower at 7,243 this morning. And as you point out, analysts think this could be affected by China, which reported a load of weak data for July, including a surprise drop in industrial output growth. Is potentially an indication that the trade war with the world's biggest economy has been affecting the economy's health in China. But like you said then, since then it has pushed slightly higher, a 0.1% increase on where it closed last night. And that could be because of the announcement that the Trump administration, they're going to delay that 10% tariff increase on Chinese goods. Meanwhile, the opposite is true of the FTSE 250, which initially edged higher when markets opened this morning before dropping by 0.9%. No prizes for guessing what the pound is doing. Yes, as so often, it's down. It is currently 1.07 against the euro. That's 0.8% fall since early trading. We'll keep an eye on the FTSE and on the pound, and we'll let you know in this afternoon's show what's going on there.
Yes, it's going to be, the pound seems to be getting some back. I'm sure a bit of the talks around the Brexit as well seem to be putting the sterling on a bit of a stronger footing. Thank you so much, Simon. We appreciate your time. Simon Pusey, my colleague at London studios. Thank you so much. Do have a great day. And as you said, in the afternoon, with Chimeze Obiwagu.
Thank you, Bez, and see you soon.
We appreciate it. So when we come back, everyone will take the first opening calls on our market for this week. We've been away since Friday, so we need to check in with how the market is getting today started as we have a new challenge on our market street. Mr. President says he's directed the central bank to cut foreign exchange sourcing at the official window for anyone who wants to do food imports, and says the FX reserves will be used to build the economy, not to encourage more imports. That's Mr. President, front and in everybody's face. No holds barred. Take a break, everyone. 2 minutes with us. We'll be right back.